Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave. This video is part of a series of videos promoting the new auction of MythBuster props to benefit the Grant Imhara STEAM Foundation. Important links to the prop store auction in the description, as well as links to the Grant Imhara STEAM Foundation. And today's item we're talking about auctioning off is actually one of my builds from one of my favorite episodes, which is the Ninja Walking on Water episode. These are my ninja shoes. It seems ridiculous now to look at these and think these might help us walk on water. But let me just take you back to the OG days of filming this episode. Apparently ninjas had all sorts of crazy skills. And one of them was that they had figured out a way to make a certain kind of boot that allowed them to take advantage of surface tension and walk on water. And we had some drawings of this device, and I replicated these drawings exactly. Look, it's not like there was a rich mine of reference material to build these from. We just had a couple of drawings, but I did, in order to give this the best chance of working, obviously, you would want to use a very lightweight wood, something like a cedar. In fact, I used something about as light, but it was a fiberboard. The wood grain is actually simulated. That's a little bit of our prop making magic. And then the hemp rope is absolutely, that was all over the place back in the 19th century. I want to tell you, way back around the time we were filming this episode was also around the time I went to my first Comic-Con. And when I was at my first Comic-Con, I got asked to host the Big Bang Theory's Hall H premiere, the first time Big Bang Theory went to Comic-Con. And so I'm interviewing the cast on stage. And afterwards, I'm hanging out with showrunner Bill Prady when he's complaining that we had made a ninja episode. And I was like, what's your issue with us making a ninja episode? He said, the line of ninjas was broken. There's no ninjas now. He says it's about as culturally or even martially relevant as interviewing a Minuteman, right? Like from the Revolutionary War era. And then one of Bill's writers goes, Bill, you're a Minuteman, aren't you? And Bill's like, sure enough. And then Bill and this writer from Big Bang drop into an interview improvisation, which was beautiful to witness, where the writer said, Bill, you're a Minuteman. And Bill said, yes, I'm a Minuteman. He said, tell me about your rig. And he's like, well, I've got my musket, got my powder horn, got my hat, got my boots. And he says, where do you store these? Oh, in the back of the Volvo. I have them at the ready. And they go through this long set of interview questions when the writer finally says, okay, Bill, let's say you get the signal. Paul Revere puts up one light. You know what to do. How long does it take you to galvanize into action once you get the signal? And Bill goes, 3-4 minutes. And I mean, like, I'm on one knee laughing, but also I'm astounded that these comedy writers can just generate comedy. And at the next Comic-Con, a year later, Bill and I were having dinner, and I was like, can you tell me what happened there? Like, how did you guys just know how to do that? And he said, well, you got to understand about comedy writers. He's like, you give us a premise, and we all know where the joke is. We know how that premise pays off. The only question is, how long can you keep the parameters aloft until you drop the punchline? So the moment I say I'm a Minuteman, the only joke is that it takes longer than a minute to get ready. And my writer knows that. And we're off to the races. And it's just when can he drop the question? How long will it take you? And how long do I take to deliver the punchline? And actually, this is really an important moment for me because it was a wonderful early lesson in a lens for writing that I used for the rest of MythBusters production. I liked to say that I write out experimental protocols for the show like a joke. As long as I know what the final experiment is, as long as I understand how absurd and gargantuan and bombastic the last experiment is, i.e. the punchline, I know how to go through what I need to get there. So I always started with the end. And it was that conversation with Bill and that friendship that really gave me that education. So I didn't even realize this when I started talking about this. These ninja shoes actually represent an intersection between me and professional comedy writers that really benefited MythBusters for the rest of its run. I did tie these to my ever-loving feet. We took them out to Bamboo Reef, San Francisco's own dive shop and dive center, where we filmed a lot of MythBusters stories, and I sank immediately like a stone in these. I do remember filming lots of bad dubbing dialogue where I said to Jamie, "Come, silent walrus, let us to battle!" And then we ran off, or probably I ran off, because Jamie would just stare at the camera for a take like that. These ninja shoes are mounted to this board as part of MythBusters The Explosive exhibition that traveled around the country. It started at the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry and toured for around a decade to science museums all over the country. You might have seen it in your hometown. These are the self-same ninja shoes from that exhibit. We have left them on this board. You can display them however you like. And I will, actually, we should make sure that they're signed. Hold on. I don't know that I was signing things back then. No. Should I sign it? I should sign it. Yeah. Let's sign it in a whiteout pen. There it is. That feels, it's funny. It feels wrong to write on something like this, like an artifact like this, until I remember that I'm the artist and that I made it. So you can buy these ninja shoes along with all the other amazing MythBuster props we have up. Again, links are in the description. The auction is at Prop Store. This is all to benefit the Grant Imahara STEAM Foundation, and I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.